were just watching us at 6, I mentioned the storm was coming out of Union County. We were keeping an eye on it in case it tried to get a bit spicy, and it's done so. This is about 12 miles south of Monticello. Again, this storm almost directly over that Highway 425. And as we look over the next couple of minutes, this tornado warning in effect until 7:15 p.m. and some areas that'll kind of need to be under alert over the next 30 minutes. Valley Junction, you're running out of time. You got about 2 minutes, so you need to be getting into your safe place right now. Collins, Arkansas, down the line, you have about 15 minutes before you start to feel those impacts. Baxter, you have about 20 minutes. McGehee, Arkansas, that's over in Deshay County, you have about 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minute window. We're gonna shift gears to Storm Track 11, Perry, if you don't mind. Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon is here with me, and he's pinpointing that base reflectivity where you can kind of see that rotation couplet, which is why they have issued the tornado warning. So when we get up, here it is on Storm Track 11, you can see what we're talking about. So again, for context, this is in southern Drew County, south of Monticello. This rotation couplet now just east of Highway 425. The storm moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So Collins, Arkansas, you need to be moving into your safe place. Even downstream, Selma, Reed, McGehee, kind of downstream of that. Make sure you're getting into your tornado safe space. Now, right now, this is just radar indicated. There hasn't been anybody on the ground to confirm this, but we want to make sure you have the information you need to know to stay safe. So this is in effect for about 25 to 30 more minutes until 7:15. We've got that tornado warning in effect for southern Drew County, south of the city of Monticello. The rotation couplet now just moving east of Highway 425. So hopefully you're not out on the roadways, but if you know anybody that's traveling along 425 or traveling along Highway 278, because that's also in the polygon downstream, Highway 278 that runs through Drew County into Deshay County. That kind of is what takes you from Monticello to McGehee. You need to make sure anybody in that area that you may know that might be out traveling can get to a safe, secure structure to get into that tornado safe space. So again, if you're just now joining us, just a few moments ago, the National Weather Service office in North Little Rock issued a tornado warning for this cell that right now is in southern Drew County, still south of the city of Monticello. But as we're following this system, we can move it back to Max 1, Perry, while Tom is kind of working on the updates over here. But in Max 1, where we have that tornado track, you have some time stamps on some areas that'll be impacted. So again, this was spotted, or the radar indicated, south of Monticello at the time of this morning. It was just west of Highway 425. As we saw with rotation, that rotation tool on Storm Track 11, that rotation likely now east of Highway 425. But again, in that polygon, we still have Highway 278, and that's that highway that takes McGehee to Monticello, and McGehee is also kind of downstream of that polygon. So some more locations again that are going to be in the pathway of this system. Deanne, Arkansas, you have about 8 minutes until you feel those impacts, so you definitely need to be getting into your safe space. Enon, Arkansas, you got till 6:55, so about 9 minutes. Collins, you have about 13 minutes, 6:59. Baxter, you have about 20 minutes, 7:03. Selma downstream, I mentioned McGehee downstream, Trippy Junction downstream as well. So again, this storm, radar indicated rotation, is moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. And again, you need to make sure if you are in southern Drew County and in southwestern portions of Deshay County, you can hear the sound of my voice, you're moving into your tornado safe space. We're going to move over to Storm Track 11 again. Let
me take care just for a couple of seconds here. Simone will go ahead and keep updating on what's on from the National Weather Service.
Okay.
But I just want to stand here for a minute and kind of give folks down in southeast Arkansas an idea of what's happening here. With a tightly wound up storm in southeast Arkansas, this storm is going to take a track into Deshay County and will impact people that live in Reed and McGehee and Dermont. Right now, and from what I saw, the National Weather Service was trying to determine whether or not we had correlation coefficient to drop out there, which would indicate some damage with this. Certainly keeping a close eye on about it. Folks, this is the strongest storm we've had in the state all day, and it's come to this point this evening right after dark, which is one of the most dangerous times. A lot of people want to go out and try to find it. It's just best to find your safe place and hit it quickly. I would do this. Symone was providing you some good advice. If you're down wind from this, if you're over in Deshay County, go ahead and take your safety precautions seriously. This is the couplet we're looking at, and this is the radar. You're getting way far away from the radar beam in this regard, but it's right here, and it's holding strong and is continuing. I'm going to take this back to
would also
base
like to add, Tom, if you can kind of tell just north of Highway 278, there was a little bit of rotation north of that too that the National Weather Service said they're keeping an eye on. So even though there's not a warning up there, if you're near that area that's kind of north of this current couplet that we're tracking, just kind of make sure you're on your P's and Q's and you are getting into that safe space. But right now, of course, the focus is on where we actually have that warning in effect.
All right, I'm just trying to move it around just a little bit, getting it a little bit more focused on that. Again, this is the only cell that we have. This is Drew County. You've got Deshay County. The couplet is right here. Let me zoom in just a little bit more on this. Well, I'm zooming the wrong way, and I apologize for that. Come on, come on. Okay, tell you what, just go back to storm, go back to max 1. I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little bit cumbersome, but here we go. Here's your polygon. There's your warning till 7:15 tonight. That is in Drew County. Again, it's the only cell that we have that we're keeping an eye on, right about in this general area here. Symone, if you don't mind, go back, just go to the wind mode, the velocity mode, so we can follow the couplet on this as it tracks to the northeast. It's going to get over into Deshay County, southern Deshay County. There it is right here. It's just real not well defined, but it is moving to the northeast. There's your highways, 35, you got Highway 278. This track is going to be through southern Drew County into Deshay County. Tiller, McGee, you folks are going to be in front of this, impacted by this, so make sure you take your precautions seriously. Find the centermost part of your home, lowest level of your home, and turn up your TV so that you can hear us as we guide you through this tornado warned storm in Drew County tonight. And here you go. Here's a couple of smaller communities along Highway 35, and that is the couplet. It's holding strong. This was the area most favorable to have a tornado today in southeast Arkansas. This is the only warning that we have. We have a tornado watch that's also in effect. And if we can, let's go back to Storm Track 11. We can show you one of the rotation modes that we have that gives a pretty good idea of where this is occurring. Right here, where you have those greens and blues coming together. There's Monticello up the road. Here's Collins, Arkansas. So we're roughly 15 minutes away from moving this into Deshay County, and it looks as if it's going to be between Reed and McGee. Here's Dermott, Arkansas, so that's where that's going.
That's almost right on top of Highway 35. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, if you have any family or friends that's out traveling and they're in that area of Highway 35, this is again in Drew County, make sure you kind of give them that warning to get to a safe place, get to a secure building, and like Tom mentioned earlier, that lowest level interior room away from any walls or windows to try to ride out this storm.
Okay, there's the couplet once again. This is where we're seeing the extent of our radar beam. Radar is shooting way up high, so we're not getting a full vantage point of this storm, but we know that we've got some rotation, at least in the middle to upper levels of this, of the thunderstorm that's moving to the northeast. There's Selma, there's Collins. Again, if you're in the path of this in Drew County, there's Deshay County. This is going to cross over the county line in Deshay County. I think if you live in Deshay County, let's make sure that you're taking your safety precautions seriously. And although Drew County has the warning, it's still holding strong or holding steady. It hasn't weakened any. And we haven't heard anything from the Weather Service. Also, another area up here we need to keep an eye on, Selma, Arkansas. It was Symone mentioned that just a moment ago. Right through here. It's out of that polygon, but there may be some rotation developing here just to the north. This is in northern parts of Drew County. Here's Monticello, just for reference point. There's Florence, Arkansas. Here's Winchester, Pickens. This is moving to the northeast at about 55.
Yeah, so Right now, just that one warning in effect. I mean, we've been kind of priming y'all through the afternoon and evening for this, that we had the potential for severe weather in southeastern Arkansas. If we bring it back to Max 1, kind of want to show you where that frontal boundary is that we've been talking about, that as that continues moving east, the threat for severe weather is moving further south and east. We've got that boundary just off to the east, or to the west, excuse me, of Drew County, which is where we're seeing that tornado warning. We're going to take this back though to the live radar just to make sure we're bringing you those real-time updates with this. That main line of storms you see has exited east of the Little Rock Metro and much of central Arkansas. I think, you know, Jefferson County is going to start to see some clearing conditions here soon. It's going to be areas really south and east of that over the next hour or two we're still showing that concern for. So right now, if you're just now tuning in to join us, tornado warning in southern Drew County. This is until 7:15. I'm going to actually pause this and add another storm track. Well, I'm going to take this to winds first, so you can see that rotation couplet, and I'm going to add another storm track because the storm is moving northeast at 55 miles an hour.
It's in this area right here.
It's in that area right now.
It's hard to tell where the couplet
Looks
is.
like it's near or kind of on top of Highway 35, just to the southeast of Enon, Arkansas. So we're gonna add this tornado path tool again to give you an idea of where this is going. This will load for me. Give me 1 second, you guys. This is taking a moment to load.
Yeah, there's your polygon. This is Drew County. There's Monticello, Florence. Again, we're looking upstream. We want to know what's going to be happening here in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Out of DeShay County, there's McGee. There's Reed and Dermott, some places that you're familiar with, Arkansas City. This is where the Mississippi River is located. So within the next 30 to 45 minutes, this supercell thunderstorm is going to be moving out of the way. I saw another area of concern behind it back into Bradley County. We'll get to that here in just a moment. But just north of Selma near Florence, there's also some rotation here. This is south of Dumas. This is not tornado warned, but the National Weather Service is keeping an eye on that area as well. And the cell that we have here in Drew County, this is southeast of Monticello. There's your polygon, and it's moving to the northeast, east-northeast, and will be impacting DeShay County here very shortly. Haven't seen anything new from the National Weather Service on this. We do know that conditions are favorable tonight for the development of tornadoes, if not, gusty straight line winds with the system as well. So if you don't have a tornado or don't receive tornadic winds, you'll more than likely have some strong wind gusts as that cell tracks to the northeast. Let's go back to Max 1, please, and we can see what this looks like on radar, reflectivity-wise. And this is in southeast Arkansas, the area we thought would be prime and prone to having the strong to severe thunderstorms today. Here's Tiller, Arkansas, Highway 277. I would say that if we do have a potential tornado, it's going to be near Highway 277 and Highway 35, near 238 as well. So in that juncture is where we're finding the strongest rotation with this cell as it races off to the northeast. And again, here is the couplet, and we're so far away from the cell in southeast Arkansas, the radar beam is shooting over the top of that cloud. But you can tell toward and away. That's how when we say couplet, you've got winds blowing toward radar, blowing away. We're able to pick up where the center of that rotation is located. Right now, it looks like it's just north of Collins, straddling 278 to Highway 35. Not a confirmed tornado. Max, let's go back to Storm Track 11, and Simone has pulled up what it looks like on our rotation mode. And quite clearly, you can see here's Selma, Collins. It's right in this general vicinity, and it's moving to the east-northeast. I would imagine the Weather Service is going to extend this warning very shortly to include DeShay County. So you folks in Reed and McGee, if you live over in Roar, Arkansas, even up toward Kelso, go ahead and take your tornado precautions, folks.
So, no new updates right now from the National Weather Service. We are keeping an eye, well, they said they're keeping an eye on that rotation that's also north of this storm that has that tornado warning attached to it. I have over here in Max 1 added that tornado track to that rotation couplet. So Tiller, Arkansas, McGee, you still have about a 10 to 15 minute window to get into your safe place before you start to feel those impacts of this storm. We do still have that radar indicated rotation with this storm. So even though it has not been confirmed on the ground. You do need to take this seriously, and again, get to that lowest level interior room away from those walls or windows. Try to put as many layers as between you and the outside world as you can. And as Tom mentioned, kind of straddling that Highway 35 to Highway 278. So if you have anybody, hopefully everybody's off the roads, but if you have anybody that you know that's on the roadways in Drew County on either of those highways I just named, make sure you're giving them a call and tell them to try to get to a safe, secure location. Right now, we're just kind of waiting to see if the National Weather Service is going to extend this or issue a warning to that cell just north of this one.
Yeah,
that's
they're
in
keeping an
northern
eye on that one. Yeah, they're keeping a close
Drew
eye on
County.
that one. That's of concern as well, that it may be breaking apart from the line, that the line may be, instead of it being a line segment, it's breaking apart. So they've got this cell near Winchester, Arkansas, that they're also keeping an eye on, not warned just yet. But considering the atmospheric conditions in southeast Arkansas, Arkansas County, in Drew County, DeShay County, you folks need to just go ahead and plan on getting into your safe place. I really do have a feeling they're going to keep this one going. It does not look like it's weakening at all. In fact, it could be holding steady or even strengthening. Now the one up toward Winchester, this one is probably going to be next.
Yeah.
Still a broad circulation. This is south of Pickens, Arkansas. From Pickens down to Winchester, it's at the northern tip of that other polygon. This one is getting ready to cross over into DeShay County and become an issue for Reed. Even McGee, you're going to be within sight. The northern part of McGee, along looks like Highway 65 in that area. Here's Dermont, Arkansas. Collins to the south of it, but that is the strongest storm, and this is the cell, the rotation that we have that we're keeping a close eye on. So if you live in northern Drew County up toward DeShay County, even over to Arkansas County, let's go ahead and take our precautions. We've got one cell here that's not warned that is tightening up, and the cell to its south and southeast that is tornado warned, although we have not received a confirmation that it has touched the ground. Conditions are likely that it could make its way to the ground. So keep in your safe place, folks.
And again, this warning is in effect until 7:15, so we have about 15 more minutes left on this. And again, this is starting to, the rotation couplet looks like it's starting to move closer towards DeShay County. Still want to make sure you're in your safe place if you live in Selma, Arkansas, Tiller, Reed, McGehee downstream. Kind of take those precautions now early as that storm. Right now, like Tom mentioned, it's so far out from the radar beam, we're not able to get a pinpoint location on where it is. So all those areas that are kind of around the location of what we're picking up on the rotation, we want to make sure you're taking those precautions to be safe through the evening. And I mean, considering we've been following along with this since this morning, and the potential has been there to get to the last hour of our weather impact alert before we have a warning, I think we're doing pretty good. If we can keep everybody safe while this is in effect, that will be great. But like Tom has been saying, this is the strongest storm we got right now in our coverage area. There was some tornado warnings at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, closer towards the Mississippi River and more of the Memphis coverage area. So this is the first of what we've seen kind of in that central Arkansas, Little Rock coverage area. Again, this is kind of moving out of northeastern Drew County, closing in on DeShay County. Right now, it looks like that rotation couplet is right along where Highway 277 and 278 intersect. So locations near this region, Selma, Arkansas, Tiller, Reed, downstream from this, make sure you're taking those precautions. Still kind of just to the north, there's this rotation along that Winchester, Omega, Yukon, Arkansas region. Does not have a tornado warning just yet, but the National Weather Service office is saying they probably will issue a new one soon. The storm that currently has the warning in effect, the rotation is weakening, but it likely can re-intensify as it goes through that cyclone that we've talked about before. So even if this warning gets canceled early, still want to make sure you're on your P's and Q's in Drew and DeShay counties, especially for this rotation we see to the north along that Highway 165. So National Weather Service, that was the latest update they gave, that
Yeah.
likely going to see that new warning coming here soon. It just hasn't been issued quite just
And
yet.
that would be for Deshay County. So if you live in Deshay County, a southern tip of Arkansas County, you're probably going to be included. There are the two main areas of concern. They look a little bit more ominous in terms of the rotation. It's tightening up a bit more. They may go through that cycle, may weaken, but they may re-strengthen. If you live in Deshay County, you're not warned yet, but the Weather Service may be pulling that warning here.
They just pushed it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the specifics on that.
They don't have I see the polygon over here on Max 1, but they haven't put the specifics in the chat yet. So the polygon, okay, here it is. Here are the specifics. Radar indicated rotation warning until 7:45 a.m. The storm was located over Omega, Arkansas, or near Dumas, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour.
Right here. So it's moving along quick, 60 miles per hour. It'll be out of here before long.
So just south of Dumas, almost over Omega, Arkansas. I'll add a track to this in Max 1.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Moving at 60 miles an hour.
It's going to impact folks that live along Highway 138, Highway 277, Highway 1. You've got Watson. You've got in Copen, Arkansas. Rosedale, you're just out of the polygon box here, I believe. You might be included in the tornado warning polygon box, but our storm track box here. This is moving truly more northeast than east, so it's going to take a track over southern parts of Arkansas County as well, get over into some of the Mississippi River area, some of the lower level, the farmland that we have out here, and then cross on over into Mississippi. So that's the warning we have. If you live in Watson, Yankopen, Medina, Arkansas, there are the times that you will be impacted here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And since this is a storm that's moving very quickly, it's 60 miles per hour, it's racing to the northeast. You got very little time to get into your safe place. Let's go to Storm Track 11 and show you what it looks like. Simone has pulled up our rotation mode here. There's Dumas, here's Pickens, Arkansas, there's Winchester, and there is the area of concern with one area of concern is another down here now, Selma and Reed. So we've got two places we're keeping an eye on, and there is your polygon box.
So I think that Selma and Reed rotation was with that first polygon, and then the one closer towards Dumas and Pickens is this newest warning that we have. So likely that we'll see the one closer towards Reed. We see that polygon get extended out a little bit because that warning is set to expire at 7:15. Right now, just the latest update we have from the National Weather Service was them issuing this latest warning. And if you're just now joining us and you are wanting to get caught up to speed, we have two tornado warnings right now out of Drew and Deshay counties. That the first one in effect until 7:15. That's where we see that rotation between Selma and Reed, Arkansas. And then the second one that was just issued, that warning in effect until 7:45. That's where we're picking up that rotation just east of Pickens, Arkansas, kind of near the Dumas area. Looks like it's moving towards Watson and Yankopen. Is that how we pronounce it, Tom?
That's the way we're pronouncing it tonight. Yankopen. Yeah. So yeah, those are the areas. Those are the two main areas of concern. They're moving to the northeast. At least the cell is racing to the northeast at 60. So that's our rotation mode. Let's take you back to live winds on Max 1, and she's drawing up a track on it. If we can go back to Max 1, we can show you, here's a better perspective of the highways. It's hard on Storm Track 11 to go down to highway mode, but there are the highways. 277 Highway 1, here's Watson, Arkansas. This is going to be awfully close to, if you're picking us up down in Watson along Highway 1, but 277, 165 and 277, that's where we're finding the rotation. We can take it out just a little bit, Simona. We'll work in that other area of concern, that other area that is prompted this warning, and that's near the Tiller, Arkansas community along Highway 165 and Highway 138. Both of these cells looks like they may get a little closer together and merge as the rotation, I should say, as it moves to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. You get out of Deshay County, you're going to hit that southern tip of Arkansas County before crossing over into the Mississippi River. So Dumas, White River National Wildlife, Tiller, Winchester. Now, McGee, you seem to be out of the path of this. You're on the backside of it now, but there's some of those communities that are going to be impacted here in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so with this cell moving to the northeast. Kind of hard to tell There's your tornado warning polygon box. This is Deshay County. Arkansas County is over here near Rosedale. It's going to cross over to the northeast at 60.
So the National Weather Service said for that southern rotation, the first storm, they are going to continue that warning until 7:15. Have not indicated if they're going to extend that polygon, but at least the original polygon in effect until 7:15. They're kind of keeping that as this storm crosses out of Drew County into Deshay County.
Okay, let's go back to Storm Track 11. I've got it's a little bit broader in southeast Arkansas. There is your polygon. There are the two main areas of concern. You got DeWitt way up north, Dermott to the south. Here's Arkansas City. Here's Arkansas County, and then you see that you've got a crossover into Deshay, Arkansas, and once again into Deshay County before it gets out of here into Mississippi, across the Mississippi River. So we got a little ways to go. Moving very quickly. It really moved very quickly out of Drew County and is now in western parts of Deshay, western and northwestern parts of Deshay. There's Watson. There's circulation number 1. And there is circulation number 2, and we're getting really far away from the radar here in the North Little Rock, Central Arkansas area. But this is our only warning, and it encompasses 2 areas of rotation or concern in extreme southeast Arkansas. Let's go back to our live winds on Max 1. Symone has laid down a storm track with this, and there is our couplet. There's Dumas and Tiller, so this is just to the east of Dumas, and here are the areas that are going to be impacted here over the next 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. 7:08 right now. This warning is going to keep going. You've got Snow Lake, Mozart, 7:24, some smaller communities, but communities that will be impacted nonetheless in southeast Arkansas. After dark, it's dangerous after dark. You can't see it really coming at you, so make sure you do the right thing and get into your safe spot tonight while we track this weather for you tonight. And by the way, we're tracking on THV. We're also tracking on THV Plus, our streaming app. If you have a phone and you've got our app on your phone, take it with you to the closet or turn up your TV really loud so that you can hear us talk our way through it, talk your way through this situation. But there's many different ways to receive severe weather information, including those items and also a NOAA weather radio. You've got one, hopefully you have one of those as well. The more the merrier. We want to make sure that you are safe in the event that you do experience a tornado tonight.
No new updates right now from the National Weather Service, just continuing that first warning that's in effect until 7:15. That's the southern rotation, and then the northern rotation is the warning in effect until 7:45.
And this is getting awfully close now to Watson, Arkansas, small community down in southeast Arkansas. Let's go back to Max 1. And Ms. Symone, if you don't mind, let's go down to street level and find those highways that are going to be impacted. Some people are more in tune with, hey, I live on X highway. Can you tell me where you're talking about here? Highway 1 and Highway 277. That's where the rotation is located. I think the radar just updated 277 there. That is Stevens Road, Highway 277, and some of the other smaller roads, Norris Lane, County Road 36. You got County Road 243 and 244. We're getting really close, and this is where folks live, of course, but we want to make sure you understand and can hear us when we talk about your road. There's Goggins Road, Cypress Creek Road, and Country Road 39. It's hard to read them sideways. That's why I'm tilting my head so that I'm able to tell. Did we just get a radar update? This is a little farther now to the northeast, so we might want to let's take it back
slight radar update. Take it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you still see those road names?
Sure. There's Watson, Arkansas. For those of you that live in Watson and Goggins, Highway 1, Mankin Loop Road, you're in the path of this potential tornado. Again, radar indicated. There's a difference between when we say radar indicated and radar confirmed. If we go to one of our modes we call our debris mode, which is correlation coefficient, you might see a dropout where it's indicating some debris or tree limbs, leaves, whatever have been lifted, and we're not seeing that on our debris detector.
I think that's in part because we're so far from the radar.
And that too.
It's hard to pick up. But where we can get the best view are those winds to kind of pick up on that couplet.
And you can see that here's Arkansas County, the southern tip of Arkansas County. This is going to move out of Deshay into southern Arkansas County here in the next few minutes. There is couplet 1, and couplet 2 is just to the south. It's not nearly as well defined as couplet number 1, but this is riding along Highway 1 right now. We've got that big bend in Highway 1. It's just to the west of Rosedale, Arkansas, and it's moving northeast at 60. So these storms, Simone, are really moving rapidly to the northeast tonight.
And that southern rotation, that's this warning that's set to expire at 7:15. I think the National Weather Service said they are going to let that expire. So once that expires, we'll kind of keep our attention to that northern rotation, that warning in effect until 7:45.
Okay, and I'm just taking a quick look. Why don't we go back to radar? Let's go to reflectivity mode, and let's take a look behind this. I'm picking up on something else near Liddell, Arkansas, which was moored not long ago. Another area that could be rotating just to the south and west. Yeah, right here, south of Monticello. Liddell is here. Another cell looks like it's trying to come together. So this is the hot spot here this evening in southeast Arkansas. Conditions were favorable today. They made it close to 80 in Monticello. You had lots of warmth and moisture, and you're getting those upper level winds now interacting with that as a frontal boundary pushes in. So thus you're getting the nasty weather tonight. This is the area of tornado warning number 1, and now we're looking at another possible area developing on the heels of that down around south of Monticello. So yeah, little area here near McGee moving to the northeast. This is going to be moving across into southern parts of Arkansas County and then eventually across the Mississippi River, more than likely within the next 20 to 30 minutes. But back to Storm Track 11, and we'll pick up once again on where the rotation is located here near Watson. Oh, well, that's a nice surprise. Looks like they've taken the warning away. Do you have anything on from the Weather Service on that?
Looks like they're going to go ahead and cancel that warning. Okay. And then, of course, that first one is about to expire in 2 minutes. But I think they're canceling.
I think they've canceled it. Looks like they've expired it. And that's certainly good news.
Before we just quickly leave, though, I do want to take a wide view at the state to just kind of look at the overall setup.
Let's go back
here
to
on
Max
1,
please.
Because at least the silver lining with this, if you live in central Arkansas, if you live in areas north and west of I-30 and I-40, your threat for severe weather is starting to decrease. The Little Rock Metro, we've had some rain through the day. That rain starting to move east. This main line that's almost hugging the Mississippi River and those counties that border the Mississippi River are really where we're seeing the concern. So yes, this is the latest update. They expired that first warning. They're canceling the second one. Yep. But as Tom mentioned, south of Monticello and southwestern Drew County, we do have a storm looking to intensify. So, you know, we may well get another warning before the night is over with. Okay, and you know, I'm one of these. The warning's over with. I don't want to waste your time. You folks in southeast Arkansas, just know the tornado warnings have been lifted. Simone's going to be here a little while longer to make sure that we get this mess out of the way. If there's any more tornado warnings, we will break in. So from Symone Thomas, Tom Brannon, let's take you back now to programming.